Thank you, Alan. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Hello, friends. Today, you and I shall talk about a very important topic, personal branding for financial advisors. And you might ask, why is branding important? Branding has always been important. Whether you know it or not, you are a brand. Everyone is a brand. The branding process helps you determine how much of impact you can have. With proper branding, you can have visibility, credibility, acceptability. And may I add one more, authority. But without branding, and we see this a lot of times, so many people work off standard templates, mass content. Everyone's services looks like everyone else's. But with proper branding, you can stand out from the crowd, create your own unique value proposition, and build a loyal following with your audiences. So, without wasting any more time, let's go right into how to take your brand from invisible to wow. Today, we shall talk about the five definite steps. That's it, five definite steps to build your personal and business brand. But before that, a little about myself. My name is Murali Murthy. I'm a business branding coach, leadership trainer, and an Amazon best-selling author. You can find more about me on my website, aceworldfoundation.com. My details are out there. You can have a look. But this is what I do. These are books that I have written, the A series of books. They are available on Amazon. In fact, I'm writing one more book only on branding. I'm writing one more book solely dedicated to branding called Build Your Brand and Unleash Your Wow. And that's coming out this year. These are the clients I serve. Like I said, everyone needs branding. We have clients from Deloitte to American Express to RBC brand and many more. Everyone needs branding, and so do we. I travel around the world. That's a little clipping about me that appeared in the Dubai newspaper. It was a color print, and those are all Dubai entrepreneurs and financial advisors. Everyone needs branding. But today, it's about you. Five definite steps to build your personal and professional brand. What's a brand? You might ask. The topic of brand and branding has been so done to death, we really don't know what is it. Is it a logo? Not. Is it a color? No. Is it a tagline? Not really. What is a brand? Is it a personality? Not really. Brand is something else. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do what you do. That's a quote from Simon Sinek. And you should read his book, Start with Why, Find Your Why. And that's what he said. That's the brand. People buying something of you, a product or a service, because why you do it. And Steve Forbes says the brand is the single most important investment you can make in your life. This is my take on branding. So if we heard Simon Sinek and Steve Forbes, listen to a little moralism here. You have a unique thumbprint. You were born as a brand. Look at that. No one else on earth has this. But it's a pity that a lot of us live life as a photocopy, not as an original. What do? I'm a project manager. I'm an engineer. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a financial advisor. And so we have a plethora of financial advisors, everyone offering the same services. How do we make you stand out? Because you have a unique thumbprint, we want you to have a unique imprint on earth. Branding changes everything. That, my friend, is branding. Come on, coffee bean, and boiling water. Put that in a styrofoam cup. There is no love, there is no magic, but put that same coffee in a Starbucks cup, it changes everything. What more? Starbucks can charge anything they want. That's branding. Here is another example. I can get a t-shirt done anywhere, I can pick off the street anywhere. But if I take a pen and I put the swoosh logo, that's a Nike and I'm willing to pay any price for it. Branding is all about perception. What perception are you creating in people's mind? And often perception is the truth. So this is our agenda for today. We are going to keep it very simple. Over the next few minutes, we shall cover three topics. We shall learn how the world leaders have done it, how global brands have done it. Branding is not rocket science. Let me repeat, branding is not rocket science, but it is a science. Every global organization has taken 5 steps. I have done a lot of research and I have built my own brand the same way. So we shall learn how the world leaders have done it, how I have done it for my existing clients in the same way, using the same 5 steps. And the third step, how we can build your brand. And so that's it. How others have done it, how I have done it, and what we can do for you. 3 steps. So let's begin. Step number 1. Let's learn how the others did it. What are the 5 levels of branding? The 5 levels of branding are brand insignificance. Everyone starts as a me too. What do you do? I too am a copywriter. I too am a UX designer. I too am a financial advisor. You are often, it's called brand ignorance or brand insignificance. You got to do something. You got to build your identity. You got to craft your proposition. And from there, you go to brand disruption. Once you've created your brand identity, you got to do something in the market. Uber, that's an example. Apple, these are examples of how they disrupted the market. Ford Motors, how they disrupted the market. And that isn't enough. Brand disruption leads to brand experience. What experience are you delivering? Remember the Simon Sinek line, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do what you do. What brand experience are you giving along with your product or service? And that leads to brand loyalty. A loyal customer is one who will overcome some discomfort to buy your product or service. He might go the extra mile, he might pay a little more, and that's brand loyalty. He might even reject something else in favor of you. This is what leads to brand reference. This is the time when people start referring your brands. And finally, very few organizations in any industry reach the 5th level, and I believe each one of us can. You and I are at the threshold of greatness. You, my friend, are at the threshold of greatness. You are a financial advisor, you are a brand, but then you could be much, much greater. And that is called brand authority. Wow. Very few people, very few organizations, very few companies have attained the status of brand authority. But I can show you right now how you can reach brand authority, especially in the digital age. Brand authority also means your Google rankings are higher. Maybe you're on page 1. I'm not boasting, but you can Google me out. I'm on 4 pages of Google, and mine is a very common name. And I have not paid a single cent to Google. But if I follow these 5 steps, and so can you can go from brand insignificance, you can go from I am just another financial advisor to brand authority. So let's get started. Let's go to level 1. This is how step 1 looks like for any brand. You are a no-name brand called brand insignificance. This happens in the marketplace. This is the reason recruiters get over 100, 200 resumes for every job application. There could be a job application for a product manager, for an account director, and hundreds of resumes show up. They all have the degrees, they all have the skills, and this is how they look. And the recruiter has no idea whom to pick up. You all sound the same. As a financial advisor, question to ask yourself, am I sounding just like anyone else? What is the personal touch? What is the personal brand experience that I am delivering to my clients? This is one of the reasons it's very difficult to break through from brand ignorance or brand insignificance. And that's a beautiful quote from Ryan Holmes, the CEO of Hootsuite. An average person an average person is exposed to an upward of over 5,000 ads. Well, I'm not blaming anyone. I have actually put my phone off. Why? Because there are incessant notifications, WhatsApp and Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, and there's always someone trying to tell me something, and that's happening to your clients and customers. How do you cut through those 5,000 commercials and get your message heard? And that only happens if you create a brand identity. Go beyond what you do. What's your personal story? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? Why are you the financial advisor of choice? Let me ask you a question. There are 7.8 billion people on earth. Does the world really need one more financial advisor? Why you? Your answer should be yes. There could be many financial advisors, but there's no one like me. And let's look at these inspirational company mission statements. Do you have one? Look at Ford Motors. We go further to make our cars better, employees happier, and a planet a better place to be. Beyond cars. Starbucks to inspire and nurture the human spirit. Beyond coffee. Twitter to give everyone the power to create and share ideas without barriers. Beyond information sharing. What is your mission statement? Toward the end, we shall help you create your mission statement. And here is one thing. Every image that I'm sharing with you is something I picked off Google. I'm not a designer. I didn't sit here and design images. Which means what? These branding information images are available on Google anyway. You just need to know where to look. But this is a beautiful idea. A message without emotion has no emotion. And so you might be saying, but Murli, I say this to my client, I do this. Why is it that many financial advisors struggle to cut through and get that breakthrough? Because you might be communicating, but what is your audience listening? Let me repeat. You might be saying the right things, but what are they grasping? What are they listening? Does your message have an emotional punch in it? If not, your message is just like the car stranded on the highway. No emotion, all right? And the best way to do that is to create brand disruption. You are a financial advisor, maybe you got a fancy logo, maybe you got a fancy tagline. Look at your bio. Does it inspire? Is there anything special about it? How are you differentiating yourself in the marketplace? How are you specializing? You need brand disruption. The world's best brands have done it. They have gone from brand insignificance to brand disruption. Domino's Pizza is an example. When Domino's Pizza got launched, there were 20 to 30 other big pizza giants, including Pizza Hut. And the only way Domino's could cut through was not by lowering its price, was not by increasing the quality of onion and tomato. That they can only get that better. And we all know what Domino's did. This was back in the 70s. 30 minutes or it's free. We will deliver your pizza steaming hot wherever you are in 30 minutes or it's free. Well, these days they say if you don't do it in 30 minutes, 30% discount is yours. You can take 30% off. But that was a beautiful brand disruption. Needless to say, they rose up the ranks and they went up to number two and number three in the pizza market. That was a disruption in the way they could not compete on quality or price, but they competed on service, on the delivery speed. Here is one more disruption. I spoke about this earlier. Uber. They did not create one more taxi company. They disrupted the market. And disruption always works when you create a benefit for your end consumer. Uber's brand disruption worked before because they created a benefit for that car owner. I could now suddenly turn my car into an asset. What was a liability is now an asset. For the consumer, he no longer has to wait in line for a cab. He doesn't even have to pay cash. Everything is so convenient, and that's a brand disruption where it's a win-win. Someone benefits. One more brand disruption, Tom Shoes. They go beyond selling shoes. For every shoe that you buy, they will sell, they will give away a pair free to an impoverished child in Africa. Isn't that a good idea? Isn't that a good thought? And that's an image from their website. With every product you purchase, Tom's will help a person in need, one for one. And that's a brand disruption. You have created your own niche in the marketplace. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to always compete on the quality of your service. It could be something else. Think. Finally, brand experience. And that's a beautiful quote from Seth Godin. People do not buy goods and services. They buy relationships, they buy stories, and they buy magic. What is your personal story? As a financial advisor, you need a riveting personal story. I work with a lot of financial advisors and I've helped them succeed in the marketplace, go up Google rankings with good search engine stories. Remember, in today's digital world, it's not content, it is search engine optimized content. Is your content search engine optimized? Does it have the right keywords? And do those right keywords have the right emotion? Which is why a personal story is very important, very primarily a personal story definitely creates a brand experience. Examples. Nike, come on. I just shared an earlier example. It's just a shoe, it's just a t-shirt. But when I see the swoosh, something happens. If you're an athlete, if you have a human body, you're an athlete, and that's a Nike slogan. Go, come on, that's aerated water. Open happiness. Look at the whole community they have created. Coke has created a whole movement about open happiness. These are just brands. These are not even real people. Apple, we all know this. Think different. And so they spawn a whole generation of Appleophobes who will buy nothing but Apple products. I am no way endorsing Nike, Coke, or Apple. These are examples I'm showing how these brands have transcended. They've cut through their competition, they've gone to the top, and they create brand experiences. But Murli, these are products. What about people? Well, people can be brands too. Who said people can't be brands? Just a sample of three people we know. Mahatma Gandhi, he went from I am just another lawyer. You see what I'm saying? I'm just another legal guy to the father of the nation, brand disruption, because he stood for something. What do you stand for? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? Oprah Winfrey, she came from a background worse than many of us, but she rose to become a media queen. Martin Luther King, at the age of 25, at the tender age of 25, he could find a purpose. So as an individual, these are examples to see that if you have a purpose, if you identify with a purpose, let that reflect in your brand story, in your bio, on your LinkedIn profile. And that's how you create a brand experience. Be it products or be it people, you can create a brand experience and that helps you stand out. Easy to say, these people also become referable and you want to be referred often. You can't be chasing clients all your life. You got to become magnetic and people come to you, clients come to you. Fourth step, brand loyalty. Going from brand insignificance to brand identity and brand disruption, delivering brand experience creates brand loyalty, staunch brand loyalty. This is an example of Starbucks. Come on, boiling water and coffee bean. If people believe they share values with the company, they'll stay loyal to the brand. And that's Howard Schultz, the owner of Starbucks. Who knows it better than him? And he can price his coffee at any price, and people will line up to buy Starbucks because Starbucks is beyond coffee. Starbucks is now social currency. I just mentioned earlier. If I had a styrofoam cup or a Dunkin' Donut cup, I would never get as magical as when I hold a Starbucks cup. Come on, it's coffee. It's boiling water and coffee bean. But when you hold a Starbucks cup, it's something magical. People want to be seen holding it. It also has practical value. Your service, your brand story must also have a practical value. How your brand story helps elevate someone else. And so when it comes to celebrating a win, you go to Starbucks. When it comes to doing a client presentation, you go to Starbucks. In fact, it's called the third home, away from your home and office. When you want to work somewhere, someplace, you want to take a sip of Starbucks coffee and sit at Starbucks and work off on your laptop. And so that is how Starbucks creates brand loyalty. Finally, the brand authority. Step number five. In every industry, there is one or two, there's not more than one or two people who earn the status of brand authority. Let's take Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. Really? Have you been to Disneyland? I get the all day pass. I can never complete all the rides because people come from all over the world. I stand for 45 minutes to get on a ride. And just when my chance is coming, when I go close to the gate, I need to go to the washroom. But do you think I'm going to take off? No one does because if you get off and go to the washroom, you got to stand in line again. And finally, you get in after 45 minutes of waiting. Boom, 10 seconds, the ride is over. Maybe 20 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, the ride is over. But you stood for 45 minutes, but you still call it the happiest place on earth. I have been at Orlando airport where I have seen children bawling because they had to leave Orlando. And that is the magic of Disney, the happiest place on earth. And no one can replicate that. Any other examples? How about this one? Walmart. Save money, live better. What is so magical about Walmart? It's a grocery store. I wouldn't go to the grocery store next door to pick up a loaf of bread and milk, but I will take my car, drive 2 blocks south and find parking and stand in line and walk all the way to the end to pick up the same loaf of bread and milk and buy at Walmart. There's something magical. Walmart has clients, and this would be a typical Walmart client. Save money, live better. You see what I'm saying? Every brand takes the authoritative position in this industry, and so can you. So that we are the 5 levels of brand building, how the others have done it, how world famous companies have done it. Everyone starts at zero. Everyone starts at brand name significance. You create an identity, but you got to create a disruption, a specialization, a differentiation. That leads to brand experience, that leads to brand loyalty, and that leads to brand authority. Wow. So that, my friend, was level number one, step number one. You know how easy it is. Let us now see how I have done it for my clients, and then we jump right on to how we can do it for you. Our agenda, learn how the others have done it. If you and I follow the same 5 principles, we can do it for our clients. And that exactly is what I did. I'm a regular guy, but I followed these 5 principles and I have delivered resounding success for my clients, including my own branding. Like I said, you're free to Google me and you'll just find my name top to bottom on page one, page two, page three, and most of page four. Regular guy. If I can do it, so can you. How did I do it for my clients? The same 5 steps. Brand, build a brand identity, create brand disruption, deliver brand experience, enjoy brand loyalty and brand authority. How did I create brand identity? So here is a client of mine. Lend at Ease was just another mortgage solutions company. Just another market solutions company, and there are dime a dozen. But when we worked with them, we said, look, you are beyond mortgage. Let us talk about the end benefit. So here is a clue for you. Do not talk about a product or services. Anyone can do. Do not talk about what you deliver. Talk about how they will feel when you deliver what you deliver. Like in a gym, like Good Life Fitness or anyone, they don't talk about, look, we got this latest pound from Germany or whatever. They say, if you're 50 pounds, lose 20 pounds, become 30 pounds. If you're 100 pounds, become 70 pounds. They talk about the benefit of having worked out a good life. And so that's what we did at Lendertees. We said, what is the benefit of working with you? We said, families can have peace of mind and they can deliver meaningful relations. And so this became the brand purpose. On lendertees.com, you can check it out. Empowering solution, how our solution empower you to live better. And that became our brand identity proposition for them. We took that brand from brand insignificance to creating a brand for itself, and they're doing very well in the market. Once we have created brand identity, went from insignificance and created identity. How do you do brand disruption? Well, I learned from the greats. This is an example. TD Canada Trust is one of my clients, and that's the work I've done for them. TD Bank was everything to everyone, like most banks are. They were trying to talk to everything to everyone, and we said, no, wait. There has to be one segment you're very good at. And so we said, let's do some niche marketing. Remember, guys, you can't be good at everything. You can do a lot of things, but you're good at one thing. For TD Bank, we narrowed down what if we made new Canadians your primary audience, and the rest could be a secondary audience. And so we started focusing on TD Bank as the bank to go for new Canadians. Our work started over 6 years back. Today, they are the number one among the top 5 banks in Canada when it comes to new Canadians. Mission accomplished. That was a brand disruption. We specialized, we differentiated TD Bank from the other bank, and so the tone of voice, the color tone, look, everything matters. If you are the new bank, if you're the bank for the new Canadian, your approach should be not like, look, this is who I am, come get me, but rather the hand over the shoulders. And you look at the content, the way the content is laid out, the way the color palette is used, everything is done on purpose. There is a reason to show TD Bank as the bank for new Canadians, and that is how we delivered brand disruption. Well, brand experience. Freedom Mobile is one of my clients. And Freedom Mobile is one client for whom we could deliver brand experience. As you know, in Canada, there are the big three. There is TELUS and Rogers and Bell, and they rule the roost. What about the new international students who comes into the country who's already burdened down by a lot of debt? And we said, let's do something. Let's offer them something that is dirt cheap. 10 gigabit, 10 GB for just $50. And you go from zero to hero, zero to a data hero. And that got them a whole herd of students, and Freedom Mobile became the hero for students because we could offer them a dirt cheap deal. And that is how we delivered a brand experience for students. Beyond product, beyond service, it's just a phone service, but the brand experience of delivering rich value. Here is another client of mine, Life Plan Investments. They were targeting families, and we said beyond investment planning, full control of your finances. Maslow's law. Every human being wants to be in control. If you can offer control, don't offer products and services. Don't offer home insurance and investment planning, but go beyond and offer them full control. They can be in control of themselves. That could be a good value proposition, but that's what we did for them. And Lifeland continues to be one of the leading investment companies in the Ontario area. And that's how we delivered brand experience. Brand authority. Well, my website is right there, aceworldfoundation.com. These are all testimonials on the home page of my website. American Express, RBC Bank, CPSC Foundation, the Navy League of Canada, ICAI Toronto, and the Indo-Canadian Chamber of Commerce. There are testimonials from them, what I've done for their brands. And these are all testimonials of how I have helped all these brands through branding go to the authority level. There are some testimonials, but we will skip that right now because I'm more interested in what we can do for you. There are video testimonials that you can find out more on my website, but I'd rather focus on point number three, the most important point of why we are here today. We learned how the others did it, how the global brands have done it. We learned how I have done it for my clients using the same template. Let's see how we can build brand you. The financial advisor of choice, the most referred, the most lovable, the fantastic financial advisor, brand you. How do we do it? Let's build brand you. The same five steps, irrespective of where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm more interested in where you want to finish. What happened till now, I cannot change it. But starting today, you and I can write a new chapter on building your brand. Let's start with curating brand identity. Creating brand identity in the digital age, my friend, works like this. You've got to create your brand identity. You can't be just another financial advisor. You got to be the dash financial advisor. You are the number one in something. Maybe you're the number one in your area. Maybe you are the most popular in your area. Maybe you cater to a certain target audience. If you and I work together, we can craft something unique about you. Remember, even Dollarama is something unique, right? I always have this conversation. What is more popular between Toyota and Honda? The answer is Nissan. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter. They are all cars. But then there is an Aston Martin. There's a Lamborghini. No one takes an Aston Martin to go from A to B. They go for the brand experience. Similarly, as a financial advisor, you want to be most referred, and that will happen when you craft your unique value proposition using an emotional appeal. Remember, human beings, all of us, including you, including me, we make emotional decisions, back it with logic. And that explains $4 coffees and $1,000 smartphones. Smartphone, come on, piece of metal. But you and I pay way over $1,000. That is exactly the reason how you can create appeal for your brand. Define your competitive advantage. What is unique about you? And how do your skills meet the requirements? It's got to have practical value. And then create an online presence. I would like to know what you're doing on Instagram. What are you tweeting? What are you posting on LinkedIn? Everything matters. Your brand is working online and offline. And that's how you work. Remember always work with a coach. Just like you would tell your clients and customers Work with a financial advisor to plan your investments. I would tell you the same. Work with a business branding coach to create your brand appeal from the ground up. All right? Online presence is important for this reason. Well, I didn't write this line, I didn't pick it up. In fact, I did pick it up. Take 5 seconds to read what's on the screen. I didn't say it. Ken Cartwright, the author of Guerrilla Marketing Today, has mentioned this in his book. Your online credibility often determines your overall income. What shows up in your personal or company name is typed into Google. If I type your personal name, will it show up in a favorable way that I want to hire you? I want to refer you as a financial advisor of choice. So, one, you better show up on Google rankings on page one, and you better show up in a favorable way. All right. And that's where a business branding coach can help you. Level two, brand disruption. You got to disrupt the market. Remember, I told you the story. Brand disruption leads to brand experience. How can we create a unique story for you? And for that, my friend, you got to take the help of a lovely friend called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where all of us exist, especially as a financial advisor. All of us exist there where professionally people make decisions to hire you or not, or even refer you. And it all starts with your headline. Your headline would be like the trailer to your movie. Remember, in the online world, you are the director, you are the actor, you are the producer of your own movie. And so, a LinkedIn headline should never say, so what? My name is so and so, I work for this so and so firm, I'm a financial advisor. So what? Never be in a position where people say, so what? You don't want to be in a position where people are saying, so what? My LinkedIn headline says, Murali Murthy, author, speaker, coach. And you might say, so what? But then I say, building brands, building people. And it's very important you create your niche. You always have a cliffhanger approach to crafting your headline that people want more. Always leave them wanting more. Have headlines that say building, creating, crafting, delivering, transforming, connecting. Have powerful words. Words can start a war, words can end a war. So your LinkedIn headline should never say so what. And that's how we create a brand disruption. Here is something. Take a second to read this. In a series of experiments studying judgment from facial appearances, psychologists Janin and Alexander found it only takes 10 milliseconds to form an impression. When was the last time you looked at your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn image, your Instagram image, your Facebook image, the images that you're posting on social media? In fact, if you work for a firm, look for the firm. How are they posting? Because people make judgments and impression based on images, your personal profile picture, and the images you post on social media. So these are things you need to work on. Talking of images, any article, any blog that you share on LinkedIn or any social media accompanied by an image raises visibility by 11 times. Yes, visibility, credibility, acceptability. Remember that, and then we'll go to authority. So these are things I teach you how to use images to prop up your brand. It doesn't have to be content, it can be a logo. Remember the Nike swoosh? With one swoosh, they can create $1 billion. So can you. All right, so images are very important. Now we come to brand experience. You have to start with the customer experience and work back, not the other way around. Who said it? The great Steve Jobs. Well, he also said, I want to make a dent in the universe. Well, if he wants to make a dent in the universe, why not you? I believe you can make a dent in the universe. Why do I say that? Remember the thumbprint? Unique. You are born to make a dent in this universe. So am I. And let's do it together. All right. Here is Steve Jobs. When he launched the iPod, well, it went on to revolutionize the music industry. He did not say 5 gigabit hard drive. He said 1,000 songs in your pocket. 1,000 songs in your pocket sounds much better than 5 gigabit hard drive. So, as a financial advisor, are you saying plan now for the future? Plan now so your future can be better. I have products that are customized to your needs, or do you deliver a customer experience? maybe something about helping them visualize how their future could be. Maybe you talk about your personal approach. Maybe you talk about your guidance and your hand holding all along the way. One way or the other, deliver a customer experience and use videos, use audio, use blog posts, use podcasts. You can use a plethora of resources. I always say this, there is no dearth of resources. There is a dearth, however, of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness triumphs resources. Don't worry, the internet is full of resources. Most of them are free. You need to be resourceful enough to work with a business branding coach and create your own brand. My friends, this is the age right now, digital age. There's artificial intelligence and there's a lot of stuff that are beyond your control. It's almost like the Matrix movies or the Terminator movies. There are computers and there's software running our lives, which is why all the more important that you need to be one step ahead and you need to stimulate all senses. Especially right now, I'm doing a presentation through the video format. I'm not even in person, so I can give you a hug or we can do a high five. You need to be talking to more. If you are doing most of your presentations on video, make sure you're stimulating all senses on the digital era. That's one way to deliver a brand experience. Building a brand called you on every platform on earth. And finally, creating brand loyalty. This is how brand loyalty is created. You and I can never create brand loyalty on our own. That is the new definition of branding. Take a minute to look at it. A lot of people thought branding means I need to tell the world who I am, why do I exist. A lot of company websites are victims of this. About us, who we are, blah blah blah, our products, our services, blah blah blah. Come on. People end up saying so what? But then there is a section called reviews, there's a section called testimonial. There is a section called case studies. Do you have case studies working for you? Do you have success stories? If not, you and I can sit together and I can create a success story for you. I create a success story based on the STAR format: situation, tactic, action, result, STAR. For example, we are a family of four, and Mr. Financial Advisor Joe, he met us. This was our situation, but then he suggested this tactic. This is the action we took, and today this is the result. We have paid off our dues, we have paid off our debt, and we have put aside money for investment. STAR. And you fill up your website and your social media with star profile, with star story. It's never about what you are saying about yourself, it's what others are talking about you. Finally, are you ready? Brand authority. How do you reach brand authority? People don't care about you, they care about their problems. Everyone is only thinking about that problem, which means if you can offer the solution to that problem, you will be seen as a trusted authority in your field. Here is an example, a random example I just picked off the internet. I have no idea who Katie Lance is. Katie Lance, but look at her profile. This is how her LinkedIn profile looks. Katie Lance has got a lot of blogs that fill up her LinkedIn profile. She comes across as an industry thought leader. You might want to take it down. Industry thought leader. Come across as an expert in your industry. Maybe start writing a blog. Maybe start recording a podcast. Like what Alan is doing right now is delivering webcast with people like me. That makes him the trusted authority in his field. And Alan Shaw is C credits is the trusted authority in this field. So can you do it? You can do it too. All right. So start by sharing your expertise on social media through a blog, through videos, through a podcast, or through a combination of all of them. You need to come across as an industry expert, and that's how you take the authority status. And you go from among the crowd to above the crowd. All right. And so there we are. The 5 steps to build your financial advisor brand, from brand insignificant to identity to disruption, differentiation, specialization, or disruption, delivering brand experience, brand loyalty, and a brand authority. People can be brands too, never forget. Don't think I only showed companies. Each one of them is an individual like you and me. At some point of time, They found a purpose. They found a cause. Look at them. Nelson Mandela is here. He was just a hotshot lawyer like Gandhi, but today he became something else. Each one of them became something else. Muhammad Ali is here. What does Muhammad Ali say? Believe that you are the greatest, even if you aren't right now. Well, he believed, and that's how you can be. Once again, do not be a commodity in the marketplace. Take off this tag of I am just another financial advisor. Rather go to I am the dash financial advisor. The problem with commodities and brands is commodities can only compete on price. A brand competes on value. Commodities compete on price. A brand delivers value. What unique value are you delivering to your clients and customers as a financial advisor of choice? Without branding, well, I didn't say that. That's an image I found on the internet, but your career is dead. Act like a brand. Brands project power, authority, trusted expert, and that's where you need to be. Why you can't afford to ignore your personal brand? People buy the person first, the company second, your firm second. They buy you first. The people look you up on Google, see what comes up. Are you happy with what comes up? What shows up when your name is typed? And finally, people buy the product, and price is the last consideration. In 0.25 second, people make up an impression about you and me, which is why appearance is very important. You get one chance to make a lasting impression. What is your brand purpose? What is your brand vision? And what is your brand promise? Will you be extinct or will you be distinct? So, if you're interested, I offer a brand makeover package, and that includes helping you develop your unique brand identity, establishing your business value proposition or your personal value proposition, updating your LinkedIn profile, and optimizing it for social media with search engine optimization. Remember, SMM, social media marketing, SMO, social media optimization, and SEO, search engine optimization. Well, Alan is an expert at email marketing and many other cool tools, but I'm good at this branding you. Website update. A minimum of 5 pages and more, including your home page, the most important, your about page, your why us page, your mission values. You better have a mission statement. You better have a vision statement. You better have values that people identify with. And one bonus page, maybe a blog or something. Social media engagement ideas. A lot of ideas how to attract an audience, how to create a two-way conversation. A lot of social media banter is one way. There are people talking about themselves. There is no traction. People are not engaged. You want to have conversations where people engage. Video scripts. Remember, if Google is the number one search engine, YouTube is the number two search engine. How prominent are you on YouTube? I myself have over 40, 50 videos on YouTube. And that is what takes me to Google page one rankings, and so can you. Building brand loyalty and brand authority online and offline. Both are important. Who you are online is who you are offline, and vice versa. And that, my friends, is my contact details. We now come to the end of the presentation. My phone number is here 416-937-1235. That's my email address Murali at aceworldfoundation.com. My website aceworldfoundation.com, and unleash your wow. Let's build your brand. With that, I'm done. The 5 steps to build your brand to take you from invisible to wow, to take you from good to great, from ordinary to extraordinary, to extraordinary, from ordinary to extraordinary. The power is in your hands. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Wow, Morali, that is amazing. I was telling you before we even started about a little bit of my experience with our marketing guy all those years ago to build a brand, and you know, all we did for my work with him, it was about a month and a half just to create our logo. And so I know how much work is involved, and without a brand, I'll tell you, we wouldn't have the graphics below me. We wouldn't have the color in the background. We wouldn't have all of our presenters today with the similar background and everything else. it's so important to be able to do this and to be able to put advertising out and everything else, because right away when someone sees that, as you said, the Nike swoosh, when you see that Nike swoosh, no matter where it is, it draws your attention to it. It's like, okay, that's Nike. It's so important that you do this. And I've got 2 pages of notes here, and I was absolutely fascinated by the way you went through your presentation here, because you started off with Simon Sinek with that quote from Simon that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And it's and you talked about his book starting with why. I actually had and you didn't know this, but I started off our days with a quote with a little video from Simon Sinek. I started doing it last year, and I'm doing it again this year. So I love that you started out, because everybody already knows about Simon Sinek, so it's great.
Wow.
So that's awesome. Uh, how long, or how is it that you came into doing this? Because branding is not a natural thing to do. What's your why?
My why. My why is the same unique thumbprint, imprint thing. So I am driven by this dream. It's on my website everywhere that I need to light 10,000 candles on this planet, and that's my dent in the universe. And I find clients, and the universe finds clients. So my why is a finite number. I want to empower 10,000 individuals, corporations to stand out in the marketplace. I am well on my target there. I've already crossed 780. My why is driven with an individual, a student, a corporation, a financial advisor, a doctor. Everyone needs branding. I had dentists come to me. I've done branding for everything. So my why is to help 10,000 leaders create a better life by offering meaningful solutions that transform their lives and the lives of 1,000 others. So I'm very driven by this. It's
Wow.
beyond money, Alan. It's a legacy.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? With what you were saying about what you've already done with TD of becoming the bank of new Canadians, I mean, I'm sure that number is well more than 10,000 about the people you've actually
Thank
helped.
you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think of that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good insight.
Yeah. And you know what, Murali, you said early on in your presentation about people just being brand insignificant and saying, how do you introduce yourself? Oh, I'm a financial advisor. Yeah, all of us are financial advisors who are watching. I was a financial advisor, but it's you do so much more than when you say I am a financial advisor. Okay, great, that's what you are, just as you said. So what? That's what I am. What else do you do? And it goes so far beyond what logo you have on your business card. And that's why it's so important, as you said. I love the example with the thumbprint, because that's true. Everyone has a unique thumbprint in this world. So why can't you have a unique brand about what you do? Why can't they say what their why is? And because it's so not an easy thing to do, it's so not natural to say, to talk about yourself that way. And that's why it's so important to have a brand coach like you, because you said earlier on, what do you stand for? And that is your answer to what do you do? It's not, oh, I'm a financial advisor. It's telling people what you stand for. And it's certainly not an elevator speech. That's after telling people what you stand for, which is why I asked you what your why is. And I love your answer. I'm lighting 10,000 candles in this world. Wow, that's an amazing answer.
Thank you, Alan.
That's an amazing answer, and it just shows where you are.
And
And
then, I just want to make a point. Sorry, I want to make a point here. People are born a brand, but then we go to school, and even the best business schools, they graduate. They only teach you how to go work for a corporation. Even the best business schools
yes,
do not help in, that was a golden opportunity lost. And so we pass out of school, and so the herd mentality. We all want to work for a big corporation, and that opportunity is lost to create a brand for you, which is why it's very important for people like you and me, an organization like C Credits, to take this. It's beyond the service; it's your personal touch. And so, what you and I are doing, it's a social responsibility, helping people define who they are, what their purpose is, And Alan, living becomes easy. You become magnetic, you attract clients. Everything becomes easy once branding is done.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I think about CE credits and what CE credits or ce-credits.ca does, I can go the simple route and just say, oh yeah, we provide CE credits so that people can meet their CE requirements every year and continue their career. But no, that's not what we do. That's that's the end result or one of the results of what we do. But really, we're here to bring quality continuing education to the industry so that advisors can improve their business, improve their career, and improve definitely and most importantly for their clients, improve the what they are able to do for their clients. That's what continuing education is all about. And at the end of the day, you get a certificate that allows you to continue in your career. But that is the subtext. The continuing in your career is the subtext. It's the education that's the important thing. So yeah, and that's something we've learned from our through our branding, through what we do, which is why we
Excellent.
came up with our tagline of inspirational, educational, and verifiable. Or yeah, so it's just amazing how important the branding is. And it's you mentioned Starbucks a couple of times. I got a quick story for you. We have now before 2020, before COVID and the pandemic, we would travel all across Ontario to I think it was close to 12, I think about a dozen hotels across Canada, across Ontario, and out of all the every single hotel set up a coffee station. Most had those styrofoam cups.
Right.
One hotel provided us with Starbucks coffee. The coffee station was different compared to anything else. There was the Starbucks banner, the Starbucks cups, the Starbucks carafes, and it was often a separate section from the lunch table. And it was so different. People would walk in and they would have it so that it would be line of sight as you walk in the door. The first
Right.
thing you see is Starbucks, and there's one hotel in all of Ontario that did or that we visited that did that. So it's quite a great example of what is truly going on out there and how important branding is because it does change everything about what you do.
Alan, start talking of Starbucks. They don't let you go. Even the tissue paper has the Starbucks logo on it. They don't let you
Yes,
forget them at any minute. So that's
yes,
branding.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And
So
Alan, one of the things I suggest, and we should tell all our clients is in the Zoom era, it doesn't matter you're Tony Robbins or the Arnold Schwarzenegger, you still confine to the 4 by 2 screen.
yes,
And so, if you are making presentation, it's very important that the subconscious mind is also working. So when you communicate, people grasp a little of what you say, but 95% is your background. It's the color of your dress, what you're wearing, and how you appear. And it's so important to be conscious of the background so that you don't have any disturbance happening, no shades happening. So these are things we need to tell them. Branding is also how you package yourself and how you are presented.
absolutely.
So, right,
Absolutely. And how many people don't consider what's around them, right?
right,
And they go in there and there's a mess on their desk, which
right,
it
exactly.
there's for me, I love the Marvel stuff and the comic stuff. And if I turn the camera around, I've got
All
26
that.
comics
Okay.
up here on the board on the wall here
Wow.
because it's colorful and I love the it's just fun to look at and
And that's your brand, that's your personality
yeah.
story that comes
Uh,
across. Yeah.
but I still have
Yeah,
these
human,
guys behind me because it's fun.
humanizing your brand. It's so important. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Morelli, I am. This just blew me away. What you've done here, and
Thank you so much.
I almost wish that I didn't brand myself 7 years ago, because I can't even imagine how much better it'd be working with you on this stuff. And for everyone who's watching here, you know, the logo on your business card right now, if you're working for a larger organization, the logo on your business card, as Murali said, is secondary. They may want to work with that company, but if that client wants to work with that company, they have the choice of all your colleagues to work with
Exactly.
and still work with that company. It's a big difference, And as Murali says, there is no issue with price. There's a reason why someone is going to go out and spend $130,000 on Mercedes because it's a Mercedes, but they'll still go into that dealership, maybe go to
Right.
multiple dealerships until they find a salesperson that they like, and that's the person they're going to buy
Absolutely.
from. So it's so important to brand yourself and put out content, and you know, yeah, you can have that logo in your on your business card or on your website, but that should be the secondary logo. That should be the secondary brand because you got to brand you.
You
As
look at
Morelli
it as
said,
a secondary.
yeah,
As secondary.
as Morelli said, what do you stand for? So important. Wow, Morelli, thank you so much. And by the
Thank you,
way,
Alan. Thank
I
you so
think you
much.
certainly are the star. I love that acronym. You certainly are the star. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, sir. Been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Ladies and
Thank you, sir.
gentlemen, you got his contact information. Reach out to Morelli. Morelli, thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.